The death wobble. It can happen to anyone, anywhere, at any time. The death wobble is a wobble in the steering wheel caused by loose components in the tie rods and steering wheel joints. The wobble is so hard you can barely control it. And unfortunately, it happened here to my buddy Joseph in his 2012 6.7 Powerstroke. But why does this happen? What causes it? And why are Fords and Dodges so known for having this death wobble? Well, today, in this video, we tackle this topic head on by asking a certified diesel mechanic what to look for when diagnosing the death wobble and why it happens. Today, we are outside of Asher's Automotive here in Bryan, Texas. I'll leave the link in the description where you guys can find this shop. This is Bryan. He is the mechanic here. And today, we have got Joseph's 6.7 Powerstroke. You've seen it in a couple videos before. Today, Bryan's going to be talking about what is causing the death wobble on the 6.7 Powerstroke behind me. So Joseph has been struggling with death wobble for quite some time now, and they're actually gonna fix him up here. So stay tuned and let's get right into it. Bryan, I guess the first question I gotta ask you is what is the root cause of the death wobble? And if you wanna walk around, we can.
The first thing I always look for is gonna be the track bar on these trucks and the axles here. And with this bar connected right here to the frame, only part that's actually holding the front end in place. So if it starts moving around, it gets to wobbling and it starts from there. I'll go up there and shake the steering wheel. I'm gonna show them both spots on there. Yeah, this has a little bit of play there. Yeah. It doesn't take much. If you notice the truck kind of like wagging its tail on top of it. This bushing here also has slack. So this bushing here is a weak spot, the ball joint. That's the most common I see pretty much like on your truck. You have tie rod bad, it's loose here, here. It's not. This should be the very first thing to look for. This is gonna be your next common point on this. But basically anywhere that the tie rods are loose, they will start making play. Once it gets there, it's loose, so it just keeps on and wagging.
Yeah.
So you've got to fix the front end first.
Okay, so the main root is loose bolts. So what do you do to
Not the bolts aren't loose. This is a bushing that just wears out.
Okay.
And it's the ball joint that
so
literally wears. It gets placed.
Replace the whole thing then.
So for this piece, you do, because unless you can get just a bushing to put in there, which I don't recommend because they come back out. You buy a bar for this part. Over here is the ball joint. So you replace the ball joint. On this truck, it needs to have both of them done.
Okay.
And then these tie rods here, it doesn't take very much play for it to go. So if you got one shaking this bad, everything that's loose, start with replacing it.
Okay, so you said here, over here is a bad spot.
Yes, sir.
And then up here is a bad spot as well. So you got 3 points that you're gonna look for.
This one here and this one here are the number one thing I look for on all these. The best way to check this is you don't want to jack the wheels up. You see I've got the wheels on the ground. So if one of your people are wanting to know how to check it themselves, they can just lay on the ground, or a creeper, have it on the ground with all the weight, and you get somebody like 10 and 2 and shake it back and forth really, really hard because you're trying to find the play. So and then you just basically look for every joint and look to see what has movement in it.
So on this exact truck, it's that tie rod and that one over there.
On this exact truck, it has a little bit of play in every single joint. It's not a lot, but in this truck, it has a little bit of play in every single one. Okay. Yes, sir. As far as the tie rods and this joint here.
Okay, so all that's got to be gone, got to be replaced.
Some other things, we go in, because obviously when you have a death wobble, especially this bad, you find all the loose parts, you replace those. If there's still problems, then there's other things that you're going to go look for. The other weak links, factory tires, they have soft sidewalls, which will get to where once it starts kind of bending around, it can actually start the motion as well.
I haven't had a problem with mine. I have this almost the same exact Powerstroke, but I have different tires. Could that be a reason why?
Like you have not factory, you have
not factory.
Okay, so it's probably a better thing that they're not factory, as long as they're good, because they have a stiffer sidewall. Factory's kind of known for not putting the best tires on your vehicle.
These are factory, I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, I don't think these are the factory tires, but they're not. This is not a horrible tire, but this a softer sidewall tire can cause problems. The other thing, usually on ones that just really been getting us, is finding anything there and it still has it, I'll go and add caster in the alignment, and adding caster will plant it on the ground a little better, and it will also help with
So how many of these do you do a day?
Oh, a day? I mean, sometimes maybe 2, 3. I mean, sometimes it might be,
So it's a common problem then,
We see a lot of.
Wow.
In my shop, they know that I know for new stuff, so we get a lot of them. It's just common, very.
What year do you see the most in here? You could point out.
Every single one of them end up having an issue.
Even like the newer ones.
So obviously the newer ones are a little bit better thus far, but they're also new. We give them a few more years, it may end up being the same thing. Ford's had a death wobble. Dodge is actually worse than the Fords.
Oh, really? So all of them have the death wobble. I've only heard of Ford having it, so I didn't know all of them.
Dodge is the number one problem front end, and then Ford would be the next for
then why does Ford get such a bad rep then if Dodge?
People love to hate. I don't really know. I don't know the answer to that one.
I don't know why people hate on Ford.
Ford so much because that's the only thing I've heard.
We prefer the Fords. That's what most.
Yeah.
We work on.
They're easier to work on than the Cummins.
I don't know about easier. Just I think they're better than Cummins. Yeah. That's my opinion.
Okay. So wait. So why did you say that you like the Ford over the Dodge?
They hold up better. The front ends. Yeah. When you get a Dodge, I mean, you can just bet. Most of the time, when we get a Ford in here, it doesn't need all the pieces. Yeah. It needs one or two and something. On a Dodge, you can pretty much bet it's going to need them all.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
that's
this just happens to go down that way.
Yeah, so like if a Dodge starts doing the death wobble, like it's not going to stop. Like it's going to be pretty bad.
I mean, once a truck gets a death wobble, it's game over. Yeah, it's bad. It don't matter which one it is on that.
Well, did Joseph catch it early enough to where he doesn't have to swap everything, or is he going to have to swap everything?
No, well, I mean, all the front end parts that were already loose. Yeah. And that's what's caused it. So we're going to change those. Okay. Yes, sir. Which is not ball joints, not the whole.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Yeah. It's just drag links, tie rod.
I've seen some people spend $5-6 grand doing the whole new front end because that death wobble was so bad.
And they still had it.
Yeah, and they still had it. Yeah, right.
That's usually the ones I get.
Yeah, same truck as this one too. 2012 Ford had the same death wobble, and it was bad, and they had to replace the whole front end and everything. I've seen it. Yeah, is there anything else you want to tell me about?
Man, when you get a death wobble, you definitely know it, and I just highly recommend doing that check the way I said, was leaving the weight on the tire, having a buddy go up there, 10 and 2, pretty firmly. I mean, you're looking for a shake, and then you'll normally find your loose pieces. If it's just a track bar, for your customers that don't want to go to the shop, they can change that without doing the alignment. Any other pieces, tie rod, any of these things, you have to have an alignment when you get done, or you'll tear your tires smooth up.
I don't have an alignment on mine, so I actually just twisted. So when I put my level on it, I just twisted this.
So this is not actually, if you look where this goes to the gearbox. So you can twist this all you want, and what you're going to be doing is straightening the steering wheel or moving the steering wheel around. You're not changing the toe in. This here is your tie rod. So if you move this, you're changing the toe. Okay. This is just changing the position of the steering wheel. So if you have a steering wheel that's off, you can go do just this one.
So I went. What I did is I went up on my truck. So I went up, did a level. So I just needed to straighten my steering wheel out. Will that work for what I did?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Because I've made a video about it and everything, and people are giving me shit. So I just wanted to ask you, who knows what they're doing a little bit more.
There's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always great to have your alignment rechecked, but it's not. This will not cause your alignment to go out by moving that.
Okay. Awesome. Alrighty, guys. Well, that is the root cause of death wobble, and this is Brian once again. If you guys want to come to Asher's Automotive, they can take care of you here. If you guys got death wobble yourself, I'll leave everything in the description down below. Thank you guys for watching, and yeah, peace out.
Thanks.